Saturday, November 2nd, and I'm actually filming on the day this time. Day 465, I would think. It's always a problem with the month changes. Well, actually, it has gone into Sunday now, but I'm still awake, so it counts as Saturday. Yes, I made it. Not this is the video for yesterday thing. This is the video for today. And today has been a mixed blessing. I worked on the game, of course, and I got it to a level where I actually published a version for the little handful of people who take interest in the game in its early stages. You can now run around in the game. You can change all kind of settings in it. So you can see farther, or there's more detail or stuff like that, or field of view or something like that. And it seems to work. A few bugs here and there. So that's a good thing. And I'm pretty sure I have some solutions for a lot of the problems that still exist, and how to even improve it. And I know the way ahead. I know the way to go, or at least 90 to 95% of it. But then I celebrate. Yeah, I'm weird, but I celebrate it by trying to look around for something that'll give me a good way to download files with the game so that it can update itself, download new files for itself. The stuff I have right now has some problems. And I test out a few things. I find nothing really works. And then the program I use to create the game says, oh, you need to update, and I press update, and program's dead. Not my game. Game's still working. But the program I use to make the game is just won't work. Dead in its tracks. Won't restart, won't do nothing. It's gone. It's destroyed. The game asked to be upgraded, and it basically destroyed itself in the process. So I've spent a good hour or two trying to get it up and running again, and every time I do, something goes wrong. But I think it works now. I had to tear out everything of the program and put a new one back in. One which I had to find first. And it's a symptom. It's a symptom of a disease that exists throughout our society. Every part of the globe. A disease that has to be rooted out, stomped down, burned, and pissed in the ashes. It's the idea that things should not be easy. Because, hey, I'm some kind of expert, and I feel good about being an expert in my field, so God help me if anyone else is supposed to be given the chance to figure it out easy. Hey, I work to get where I am. Everybody else has to work too. No, they don't. You work because nobody made it better. Point is to make it better. But that mentality is everywhere. I actually started out when I was starting to make the Danish video thinking, I'm just going to complain about this. But midway through, I realized that it's my hatred for that mentality that's brought me to try and make this. The game is meant to make it easy as pie to make games for others. None of this, oh, I made a tool so that you can make games. Now you just have to learn to program in this way that No. Piss off. No. No programming. No big shot stuff. Easy enough that I fight for you. Everything in life, every profession should be honor bound on pain of death to strive towards making their work so easy for others to do that a 5-year-old could take over their position in a heartbeat. But no. Everybody has this inferiority complex they'd like to make appear as if it's a God complex instead, to make it look like what they do is some kind of magic. I have seen it so much as a teacher, and I still see it just by helping kids or young people who have problems with school, logical problems. It's not the most problems in school aren't the student's fault. It's the teacher's fault. The vast majority, the vast majority, is the teacher's fault, because a lot of teachers are stupid. They're arrogant assholes who have this idea, oh, what I do is something big and complex. Now you have to suffer in order to learn this. But I don't understand this. Well, that's because there's something wrong with you. That's because you don't work hard enough. No, it's because you as a teacher are a fuck-up. It's because you as a teacher failed. Things are hard because nobody makes them easy. It's the job of a teacher to make it easy. It's more than anyone, it's the job of a teacher to make things easy for others. But no. I'm a big loser and I have to hide it from other people by making it look like what I do is difficult. No, nothing taught in school is difficult. There's nothing in any school that is the slightest bit difficult. Ever. But there are a lot of bad teachers. And there's a lot of justification for being a bad teacher. Oh, math is hard, math is an art. No, it's not, you prick. Math is easy. You make it hard. Because you get a hard-on thinking that it's hard. Because then you think that you're something special. You're not. You're a loser. You're just trying to defend yourself by making it hard on others. Everywhere it's that. Every profession is made as hard as possible by the people on the inside because, oh, we can't make it easy for people. We can't lower ourselves. We can't stoop down to their level. We can't be part of the mob. It has to be destroyed, it has to all be torn down, it has to be burned, it has to be castrated, it has to be cut into little pieces, fed to an infected dog, and the dog shit has to be burned, scattered at the wind and buried in wherever it falls. There can be nothing left of that mentality. And anyone who shows any sign of that mentality has to be dragged out into the street, put down on their knees, and have a bullet through their head from the back in the view of everyone. Examples made. That mentality cannot be allowed to live, nor can those who propose it. But it's rampant in computers, because if anything, it's where people who have a very low amount of social skills hide away behind abstractions that are really just supposed to be there until something better comes along. But nobody wants something better to come along, because then they realize that what they know is worthless. I've decided it's my task to make them worthless. One example of it that I mentioned in the Danish version also was that there's this computer program that I'm a big fan of called Blender 3D. It's a 3D animation studio, and you make pictures, you make little films. Well, you can make big films, but not a lot of people do, because it takes a lot of effort. The thing is that it's a lot harder to use than other programs for it on the market. But I like it because I like the idea that it's open source. I really like the idea of open source. and a lot of people can work on it and stuff like that. Thing is, the setup is basically crap. It's confusing. It's got dumb problems. It's usable, but it's the kind of usable where you think, okay, this is until we have something better, right? And there's a guy called Andrew Price who appears to be a really brilliant, I'd say kid. I think he's in his 20s. But he's brilliant. He is dedicated. He's been in this for a long time. I remember his name from way back. I think he made a couple of books for using Blender. And he made a presentation, 3-part presentation about the problems inherent in Blender's design. And it goes from the overall deep structural problems, like how the notion of use and the notion of whole 3D workflow is presented, down to really stupid problems. And there's kind of this jewel of stupidity, which is that Blender 3D is not set up to automatically, when you close down a file without saving, to automatically remind you of it. It can be changed. There are some settings that can be changed, but as default, it's not set up to. And of course, that's one of the things he says that should be done. But he has to apologize for saying it. He has to be apologetic. He has to be humble about it, because there is a horde of rabid morons, putrid, disgusting, fanboyish retards, and I don't mean the charming retards that have brain problems. Those are great. I enjoy it. Those are always so nice. No, I mean retards in a bad way, who are dead set that shall not change, because that's how they've learned to use it. It's such a small thing, but for someone who's completely new with it, and even someone who's not entirely new with it, it's a really big deal. But God forbid that it's changed to take notice of the needs of people who aren't experts. It's these groups in every profession, everywhere, that fill the world with bile and vomit and putrid rot, because they feel, oh, I'm an expert in this, now nobody else is going to have an easy time understanding it. Nobody's going to have an easy time using this tool, doing this. No, oh, God forbid it would be easy to make a good game, or just a good looking game. Oh, God forbid, because then the people will sit and sweat and toil on it day after day. Suddenly someone else will be able to make that work. They will be able to do it easier too. But God forbid it's made easier for others, now that I've learned it. The immediate and, what's the word? Well, unobstructed. Let's stick with the immediate. The immediate and ruthless execution of these people in all public view should be the prime objective for the world forever. Always. Because they're always going to crop up. There's always the filthy shit falling to the smelly bottom of human society, and it's always those people in charge of it. It's always someone who thinks, oh, this has to be difficult, because God forbid someone has an easy time doing what I can do. Those people have to be put out of our misery. And I'm hoping that the work with the game can do something about that. But right now I'm just tired, having had to deal with it. And I'm not throwing anything at whoever made the program I'm using. I should update my stuff, but that, again, updating it There's another program that I have this feeling might be a little more stable, but it's a battle and a half just to switch to that, because God forbid it should be user friendly to switch. It's almost like when you're switching cell phones. Oh no, that's not going to be easy. You're not going to have an easy time switching away from us. No. Something has to be done about it. I have to make something that'll make stuff easier, so it'll destroy everything that exists. If you find something, if you make something that makes a profession easier, you basically destroy everybody in that profession. And everybody in every profession has to be destroyed right now. So I'm starting where I can think I can do, where I think I can make a difference. I need sleep.